With this video, I wanted to share with you some macro photos I took over the weekend. My goal was to photograph these photos in black and white, and I thought it would be fun to review them with you and try to pick which is better, a color version or a black and white version. So let's take a look. So this first photo I like is basically just some leaves, but the leaves are kind of dying, and it made a pretty cool contrast between, light and dark. And I thought it was a really good start for macro photo in this garden. But we'll see the colored version. So here's the before and after. So the left side is basically the raw file, and then the right side is my edited black and white version. And I would definitely say that I like the black and white better. I think it pops more. I think the contrast is better with the black and white. I would say black and white wins on this photo. This next photo is of an ant, and let's zoom in here. It's a pretty good shot of an ant. It's not entirely in focus. I can't quite tell where the focus hit, but we'll go even further in. I think the black and white looks pretty good. The leaf here is pretty good contrast. Let's say the colored version, and I would say I would still say the black and white wins on this one. All right, let's go to this next one. This next one is, I like this vine here, and the leaf kind of looks, like a heart shape. But the vine, I like how the white sticks out, has pretty good contrast with the trunk of the tree. Go to the color version, and yeah, I definitely think the black and white looks better on this one too. So far the black and white, I'm really starting to like the black and white macro photos a little bit better. Let's check out the other one. This one's the same one, but I think it definitely pops out more as black and white because of the so it's a different perspective with the trunk of the tree behind it, gives it more of a black background that pops out the leaf. And over here on the colored version, I still think the black and white is better. The only thing I wish I would have done differently is this back here. I feel like it's more of a distraction. If I had moved this, if I moved the perspective a little bit where it was, maybe this part was down a little bit more, that would have been better. But overall, I think the black and white is better in this photo. Here's one of I think this is a moth. I don't think it's a butterfly. The lens did a pretty good job on this one. The flower here is nice bright white, and then there's a good contrast between the two. The eye is just really cool, really big dark eye. As far as black and white, this is pretty good. So let's see the color version. So the colored version, because of the flower, I would almost go with the colored version, but the only thing I don't like about the colored version is this down here. So I don't know if you can see my mouse, but on the bottom left, I do not like this splash of purple, where over here on the black and white, you don't notice it that much. So on the color version, my eye keeps going down to this left, but on the black and white, my eye barely goes down here. My eye is more focused up this range right here. So I guess I would have to go with the black and white version on this one. Okay, here's a cool photo that I got with this ant. The sun was shining right on this ant, and I really like how it basically making this ant glow. Let's go even further. This is really cool. So as far as black and white, I like it. I like the shades here and how the light is pretty bright. We're looking over at the colored version. I do like the purple on these guys. I don't know, the colored version does look good too. I guess I would have to go with, I'm still gonna go with the black and white. I think the black and white is better. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. If you're liking the black and white more, if you're liking the color more, I'd be interested to know. Here's another ant photo. This one is really good. I really like this. I think this is perfect. The sharpness of the ant is perfect. Contrast is perfect. So this is, look at all these little hairs. That's really cool. Let's check the color. Yeah, definitely the black and white is so much better. Obviously I brightened it up a little bit because the one on the left, that's the raw photo, but I still think the black and white is much better on this photo. This photo, I adore this photo. It's not even sharp. The bee is blurred out and everything, but that's one of the reasons why I like this photo. this bee was coming in for a landing on this flower, and the focus is on the flower, and this bee's just kind of in the shadow. It just looks like this giant bee is coming in. It just looks so cool. I love the shadow of this bee, and so the black and white version is definitely cool. Let's see what the color version looks like. So the color version actually looks pretty good too. The black and white sticks out a little bit more, but the color version has, I don't know, it kind of has this vintage look to it. Because the bee sticks out a little bit more, I'd go with the black and white, but I like them both. Here's another shot of the bee coming from the side. So I like this one too. I can't tell which one of these I like more, but I like this one because of the wings here. Yeah, I could go either way on this one. I like the color version too. Yeah, that one's a tie. This one's a tie for me. Okay, here's another good one with an ant. I like how the ant is just stretching up, getting trying to get on this other leaf here. Focus didn't nail it on its head. It looks like it nailed it right here. So I wish the focus would have hit the head a little bit more, but as far as the photo goes, I mean, this is a great black and white photo. I like the contrast here, the black ant with the white flower. So I think this is a pretty good black and white one. Let's check the colored version, and I definitely would say the black and white one's better. It's a win for black and white. Okay, so I always think it's interesting photographing flowers in black and white because rarely people do that, because flowers, you know, they're all colorful, and when people photograph them, they want to see all that color. But when you strip out the color and you just do black and white, it's really cool to see the patterns of the flowers. So like, this is cool, like going from like this like gradient of going from dark to light. Of course, you got like the middle of the flower, all that stuff. So like these like patterns here, I really like this stuff, but you don't really appreciate as much when it's in color. But let's check the color version. I mean, yeah, the color version might win. There's just so much more to look at on the color version than over here in the black and white. I feel like the petals are just more intriguing on the black and white, but the overall photo I think looks better in color. If I had never seen the color version, I would completely like the black and white, but then when you show it side by side, it's really hard to pick. So I would say this one's a tie. Here is a bee on a flower. The focus nailed right around here, this area, which I wish it kind of got the eye, but it's cool. It's got the wing pattern. Okay, so the color version, I would say I think I do like the color version better. You can kind of like make out more that it's a bee on a flower, whereas I think on the black and white, the bee kind of gets lost a little bit. You're not quite sure what you're looking at first. So I think this is a win for the color version. And here's another one of that bee coming in for a landing on the flower. Man, yeah, the focus got right here on this part of the flower instead of the bee. You can see the bee is kind of out of focus, but it's still a cool photo. I think I would go with the color version instead. Yeah, I think for those two sets, the color version is a lot better. This is a kind of, I think like a fly or something, or some kind of bee, and the sunflower, you know, it's yellow, and so I like this as black and white. I like how soft it is from, you know, the petals to the background. I think the black and white, the bee sticks out better in the black and white, but the color version is kind of cool too. Because of the bee, I would have to go with the black and white on this one, but there is another one without the bee, which is this one. So if we compare the two on this one, I still like the black and white one, but I could definitely see the color version being really good too. But there's this photo here, and this one I really like as black and white. It's the same sunflower, but just at a different angle. So here's the color version, and I definitely think the black and white is so much better on this one. It looks a little bit more artistic. I like the differences here between, you know, the white and the dark middle part. So this photo is of a locust, and these locusts, they were covering this bush. There was tons of these locusts. This one is probably my favorite photo of the locusts. I think it looks pretty good in black and white. Let's check the color. I mean, I do like the black and yellow on the locust. You don't get that sense with the black and white, so the color, I might have to go with the color version on this one. Okay, this I'm not quite sure what this is. I just thought it looked interesting as a black and white photo. Yeah, I don't remember what this was, but let's check the color photo. And I definitely think the black and white is much better on this one. The white background here, all these like little black tips, they pop out more on the black and white than they do over here on the color photo. And these spiders are all over that garden. So the main advantage that the color one has is this orange right here. You know, it's very unique for the spider, and you kind of lose that in the black and white. I guess I might have to go with the color just because of that part right there. Yep, another one for the color. And this photo right here, I really like this photo. I think this is a magnolia tree flower from that. Yeah, zooming in, I mean, this is cool detail right here. I really like this. Actually, let's go in even further. Amazing. I mean, it looks like worms, but it's not. So let's check out the color version. Okay, so the color version, oh man, I think I would go with the color version on this one instead, because this tan here, I think it looks really good with the white. As far as the black and white, you kind of lose that sense. Check out the worms, which is not worms, but it looks like worms. That's sick. There's one for the color. Alright, thanks for letting me share these photos with you. I would love to know what did you think? Did you like color more, or did you like the black and white more? Or, have you even shot black and white macro? Because it's kind of fun. You never really think about shooting macro in black and white. So you should give it a try. Let me know in the comments below. And I'm going to put some photos up of my favorite ones from this round. So let me know, vote by leaving a comment below which one that you like the most. And thanks for watching.